Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's workshop on e-portfolios. Today we have Julie Razuri and Jolinda Ramsey, who will be talking about the importance of e-portfolios and really what the purpose of e-portfolios are, as well as giving us an insight into how e-portfolios look and maybe some basic information on how to set one up. I'm going to hand it over to Julie and Jolinda so that you can introduce yourselves and then start talking about e-portfolios.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jolinda Ramsey. I teach in the Department of Fine Arts for speech communication. And I also then work in the IPPE office with learning assessment.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Rossity. I work with American Sign Language, and I also work with court reporting. But then just like Jolinda, we also work for the IPPE Learning Assessment Office as well. So let's get right to it. I know that y'all are looking at creating a portfolio, and I want you to know that the college has lots of resources for you, and we want you to be able to use your eLumen dashboard. We want you to be able to use your eLumen portfolio as often as you can. And so we need to start with, where are the resources? Where do you need to go? And then how can you do some step-by-step things? So let me get y'all started. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And I'm over at the SAC page, and there's a whole page that is called eLumen Support. And we are going to be building our portfolios in the eLumen system. And so that's one place that you can always go to. Now, this is a really long address, and so we'll hardly ever remember that. But if you go into the search box and you put in eLumen students, and you click on that search tool, it's going to take you directly to all student resources that we have for eLumen. So I'm going to click directly in that, and I'm going to show you, it's going to take you resources for students, and you're going to take a click on that. And here we go, resources for students. And it begins with the registration, the overview of the home page, the overview of the education planner, and then the overview of the portfolio tab. So first things first, you're going to need to get registered. If you are a new student to San Antonio College, then you do have to wait until after the census date in order to maneuver through the eLumen system. But if you have already been here at least one semester, then you can start anytime in any semester creating your student dashboard, logging in, and then using your portfolio. So in order to register, I'm going to stop screen there because I want to be able to share a link with you. So how to register for eLumen. And I've now put that into the chat box to everybody. There is a video that'll take you step by step in the process in order to get there. There's not very many steps, but they do have to be done precisely using your school email address so that you are tied to San Antonio College. So there is how we are going to register, but I also just want to take you over to the resource page. Again, here is the registration portion of it, and it's going to take you specifically to what we call the quick guide. So though there is a video that's included with this one as well, we also have all of the written instructions for you that you can go down step by step in order to log in for the very first time registering with the eLumen system. So I'm going to head back over into this area. And really what we are looking at here is the portfolio. But before we even get to the portfolio, we're really looking at that home page. And so as you come up to the home page, and I know this is a little small to see, but you're going to see several things, including the home button on your student dashboard. And of course, then we're going to have a portfolio tab, and that is what you are going to be using in order to go through. So that's just the quick overview of the home page. And now I'm going to pass it off to my colleague who's going to give us a little bit more information on the portfolio itself.
Great, thanks, Julie. So let me share my screen. See if I can find the right one to go to. There we go. So this is when you first go into eLumen and you've registered and you're ready to log into the platform. So I'm going to put in my username and my password. And you're more than likely just going to see student, but if you see both of them, you'll want to make sure that you click on student, not eLumen user, but student. When you click on student, you'll click on continue. It will bring you to that home page that Julie was just talking about. But we are wanting to go to this portfolios tab. So under the portfolios tab, there are two different versions. There's an assessment version and a presentation version. So what this means is that if an instructor assigns a portfolio and they create a template as to what your portfolio needs to look like, you will find it under the assessment tab. If you have been asked by an instructor, hey, on your own, create this portfolio, then it becomes a standalone. And that's one that you create as a student. And you would go to presentation, not assessment. So when we go under presentation, you will notice a long list. Well, that's all the different portfolios that I've made so far. A lot of different portfolios and just playing around with things. So that's number one. You can create as many portfolios as you want to. And the other really neat thing is that by creating all the different portfolios, if you get to the end and are ready to do one big one, say for example, an interviewing portfolio, then you can pull from your other portfolios and put them into that one larger portfolio. So it serves as a good purpose of some place to house things, but even better yet, it also serves as a tool for you to do some reflection. Because a lot of times what happens as a student, you go from class to class to class, you take all these different classes, you do all these different assignments, and you might not be putting it into the lane that it needs to go in, meaning that you're not really sure how, writing this paper or delivering this speech is going to help you in the workplace or to get to another university. So by putting these items in your portfolio and reflecting on them and saying, okay, I gave this speech, therefore I worked on my communication skills, or I worked on this paper and I had to critically look through this research, then it really makes you stop and think about what you did for the assignment that can transfer out into the real world. So now I come out of it and I've looked at my portfolio and I've learned that I've delivered speeches. So when I go to an interview, I can say, I have experience in public speaking. And so you have the portfolio to back you up, but in order to get there, you have to think about it. And so that's another reason that we really encourage the use of portfolios. So back to how do you create it in eLumen? Well, under the presentation tab, you're going to see create portfolio right here, create portfolio. So it's here where you'll click and it's going to ask you to give your portfolio a name. So let's do welcome to the workplace. And then I have to give it a description. So you have to fill out those two boxes. Then if I'm like, oh, I didn't like those, I could clear or I could cancel. And you can always delete things too. But I'm going to click create. And it's going to take me to my portfolio that I'm working on. There are fancy things you can do with it, like this green bar. You can create a design with it and you can change the header color. So I could go pink because I don't like that green. And then I would just need to make sure to click Save Changes. So there are a lot of things that you can do with this. I'm not going to take all the time to go through them because guess what? You all are far better at working with these tools than I am. You know what? You are not afraid to punch any button to see what it does. My generation is still, if we punch this button, what happens? Something might explode. Or better yet, I think we're trained to think that it will disappear. So I encourage you to go through and play with these because you can do some really fun things. And I'll show you what I did fun for my portfolio in just a few minutes. Okay, this portfolio is pretty basic. It's taking and adding what we call pages. And there are 3 different types of pages. There's a gallery page, a journal page, and a simple page. So to add a page to my portfolio, I'm going to click on Add Page, and there they are, Gallery, Journal, Simple. I'm going to show you Gallery. I think Gallery's the best page out of the bunch, but there are different reasons why you would use different pages. So this is a great one if you're just thinking in terms of topic. Like I want to post a picture, I want to post a video. So here's my topics that I'm going for. So under this one, you have to give it a title. And then you have to give it a description. And right here, you can choose if you want the column to be 1 column, 2 columns, or 3 columns. So let's do 2. Click Save. And now you've created your page. But now you have to add to this particular gallery hello page. And this is where you're going to decide, do you have a video to upload, or do you have a file to upload, or a picture to upload? So when you click on Upload File, it's going to have you title the card. So Teacup Dog. This is Peanut, my little dog. And then I can just drag into that box. Or I can click into the box because I have no clue where it was really that I saved that particular photo. So when I do a screenshot, let's see a screenshot that I did from today. I'm just going to hope that maybe it might have been this one. And it's probably not. It's not. So then you would add the card. And there it is. Okay, it's that easy. The other neat thing is if I wanted to reorder, I could move it over, could move this one over if I had another card here. And then I can edit it by going to the 3 dots and I can delete it completely or edit. And if I wanted to put more information underneath it, then I could do that and then just click Save Card. And then you'll notice under my description, it changed. Okay, so that's the gallery page. The next kind of...
Before we even move on, Jolinda, from this page, I just want to add that when you upload a file, it can be many different things. So it can be a PNG or a JPEG because you want to put in a picture, but it can also be a PDF, a Word file, an Excel, a PowerPoint. It does accept lots of different formats. If you want to add a video link, and if you'll click on that for just a moment, Jolinda, the only way to add a video link is for you to then upload it to YouTube and then put in the link right here for the video. We can upload a lot of things, but because videos take so much space, the only way to add the video is through that YouTube link. But it's just that easy. It will appear just as a video, and you or somebody else viewing your portfolio would be able to just click on it and it would begin to play. So that's how you would do the video. But again, lots of different formats can be uploaded to the gallery page.
And what that also means then is when somebody goes in and looks at your portfolio, say for example, it was a PowerPoint, they can go to the 3 dots and download that actual PowerPoint. So that's something else that can be used with it. The next type of page is your journal page. And the journal page is an example is maybe I wanted my students to journal their progress in putting together their speech, right? Like what was the first step? Generating the topic. So in this box, then I would put the title, which would be generating, or I'd be broad and I would say developing the speech. And then I'm going to say journal the speech process because I'm creating that page to begin with. And then I'm going to click save. And so here it says developing the speech. Now I can start adding entries. So I can click on add entry. I'll put my title is generating topics. And then I would then journal and click save. Okay, then a little bit later on in the process, now it's time for my research. So I can do the same thing. Put in the date, type some information, and click save. Then it journals what you've been doing. Okay. The last type of page is a simple page, and really that's what it is. It's just for, you know, maybe your instructor wants to see a cover letter that you wrote for the interviewing process. Or maybe it really is the cover letter that you are using in your interviewing portfolio. At that particular point, then you would just include that. So I'm going to put cover letter, write the description, click save, and then there's my box. I can copy and paste out of this. Okay. There are things too that you can put in this. You can upload images, you can do lots of different things with the simple page. Remember then once you've entered, you click save. And there it is. And you can always go back and edit. My edit button is right there. I can also say I didn't like this page. Let me start again and I can delete it. All right. Okay. So Julie, you want to share one of your portfolios that you've done, and then I'll share my welcome. I've got to run and get my battery cord. My computer's about to die. So let me stop share.
I'll share one.
Okay.
So I want to share one that we were inspired to build because we were working with students. And one of those students said, I am an amateur photographer and I want a way to showcase the work that I do. So this is in the edit mode and I want to show you what it would look like in the preview. So this is what other people would be looking at when they see this. And so this student labeled it as hobbies to career, thinking they had some talents already. They wanted a way of capturing all of that. In fact, this student in the end was so pleased with the portfolio itself that he entered it into a amateur photography competition. But what he was able to do was then go through and put in all of the pictures with descriptions using a gallery page and seeing them all, you know, one after another. The great thing is that even though you're seeing them rather small, if anybody was looking at this, they would be able to click on the picture and it actually widens. And so they can see it with much more detail. But then again, anybody who's looking at it also has the option of downloading the portfolio itself. So of course, we want you to be able to reflect on your schoolwork, but there's also a lot of talents that you have currently that could help you in creating a portfolio and then using that for different reasons. So I'll close this picture. And so this is, again, one that's very visual with all of the pictures. And then another student that I met created one with blogs that she was writing. She wanted to be a writer. She needed a way of showcasing her writing. And so she had different pages with different topics. One of her pages was about blogs on raising 3 boys or 2 boys, 2 sons that she had. And so she wanted a way to capture all the same theme. And so using the journal entry, she created a page that would then show off all her blogs of that similar topic. And on her page, she also had lots of different entries with the different topics that she was using. So 2 different students, 2 different setups. One wanted to be visual because of the visual art medium of photography, and the other one really utilized the journal entry really well because of all of the writings that she had. Again, because there is no limit to how many portfolios any person can build, this particular student writing used some of these pieces in her English class. And so those had already been assessed by the instructor. And then she was able to bring them in knowing that they had a good setup, a good grammar, all the things, all the feedback from her instructor. And now she was keeping a record of all her writings all in one place. So she had one portfolio for English class, another portfolio for personal use, but really shows off her marketable skill of communication, which was clearly stated in this example. So that's another way that you can use it, but certainly you can use it for employment or for introductions. And that's what I'm going to turn it over to Jolinda so that she can show you an example that she put together.
Julie, I have a quick question about that. So if a faculty member assigns e-portfolio outline for students, could they edit it to make it visually look like the 2 examples you just gave?
Yes, so I'm going to come back into this portfolio because if it were the case that an instructor has an assignment, the instructor may put certain parameters about what a student can put into the portfolio for the assignment's sake. But after the work has been assessed, once a person wants to create something and pull it over, once they add a page, you can see copy pages from portfolios, and they can go into other portfolios and pull that information in and then add graphics, edit beyond that. If they are assessment portfolios from the instructor, sometimes the student can upload, but then can't always edit because the teacher wants it to be static and not ever changing so that they can review it and assign a grade to it. But when it's all said and done, the student can then create a separate portfolio copying pages from portfolios that already exist in their stack. And again, build as many portfolios. I mean, if you saw, Jolinda showed you her, I mean, I have a ton of portfolios because I use them for all sorts of things. Let's take a look at Jolinda's. I know she's got a great one.
And the faculty member, Sabrina, can also set those parameters, like you can edit, a student could edit their opening design, or they could add pages. So you do have that ability as an instructor to give more freedoms to the student, as well as giving them a basic structure as a template. Okay, so let me show you. So one of the things that I love the portfolio for as an instructor, but I mean, as I've had students work on this as well, is to create some portfolios that introduce yourself. And so this is something that I use in every one of my classes, especially for online classes, because they don't really see you very much, and it's a great introduction for students to learn a little bit more about you. So in this particular portfolio, you can see I worked on the design in the background. I used 3 simple pages, which were who am I, who's important to me, and why do I love to teach. And you'll notice then the cards have some explanation underneath them as to why the picture is present. and that fulfills that particular page. And then if you go to who is important to me, then I show you some different pictures that represent some important people, and I tell you a little bit about them in the description. And then why do I love to teach? And I included a video that you can hear me talking about why I really love to teach. So this is what students see first off. And like I said, it's a great introductory that a faculty member can assign to students and say, hey, put together your introductory portfolio so we can learn a little bit more about you. And I encourage every student start with this portfolio, right? And continue to build on it throughout your academic career. One of the things that I think that you can also put in your introductory portfolio, put every page a class that you've taken, and then put some of those assignments that you've done, those key assignments into it. So you'll have those later on to reference. So that's one of the other ways that you can utilize the portfolio. And there are just so many different things that you can use it for. And here's the great part about it. When you leave San Antonio College, you still have access to your portfolios. And you can build new portfolios. It's free. They're not even charging for it. The only thing that you have to do is to remember to go to alamo.elumenapp.com. And then remember your login information, and you still have access to those. It's really easy to share your portfolio. So let me pull that one back up one more time and show you how easy that is. So I can go to the share, and it will pull up instructors. But if I don't want instructors, I don't know why it's not.
Just click
There
at
we
the,
go.
yeah.
There it goes. I can make it public, and I can share it to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or I can just share my link. So just like YouTube, right? You don't want the whole world to see it, but you have a link. Then I can copy this link and put it in to send it in an email or put it in my course Canvas, and then everybody has access. So if you want to share your portfolio with the faculty member, you can just share the link with them, and it's that easy to do. Right. Well, I think that just about wraps up, an overview of the portfolio, and we are happy to answer any questions that you might have about it.
And again, I do want to mention that I did put some resources into the chat box. So if you want to copy those over, by all means, of course, you can always go to the SAC website and you can do a search for Elumen students. And then all of the resources that we have for students in registering, creating, and editing a portfolio are also there as well.
I do have a question, Julie and Jolinda. When students, for example, they're given their e-portfolios as a part of their curriculum, is there notes maybe that faculty member can make on their portfolio that the student will be able to see? And so students can check the status of how they're doing with their e-portfolios?
Yes, absolutely. Let's see if I can get back to a portfolio. So I'm going to come back into this hobbies to career portfolio that I have. It's very easy, and I don't want to show you a student's only just to protect their privacy. But there are several different ways we can add overall portfolio comments right up at the top. They can be typed in by the instructor, and the comment can be added. And again, this is for assessment portfolio. So once comments have been added in an assessment portfolio, they can't be deleted. If you create your own private one, they're working on the settings so that students can then alter those comments that are in there. It's not available right now. So any comments that are added will remain with the portfolio itself, but there's this place to add it. So right up at the top, you see that little bubble, but then on every card, you're also going to see the same little bubble. So if I was the instructor, I could add a comment here. I could say, this is not, probably the right composition that you want to put with this photo, or this is an excellent piece of art. I would definitely put this in your long time portfolio. So I can add those comments and send the comment. And the same thing in the journal pages as well. Let's see, there it is. I can go into here and then add a comment. So in every piece of it, you are able to go along and leave comments in different sections, or again, you can leave that overall comment as an instructor in the course, or even if you send it to a friend, anybody who has access to the link would be able to then leave comments at any point. So again, Ellumin is currently working on the settings so that if a comment was added and it was a student created portfolio, that they would be able to go in there and edit, delete comments. Right, not everybody is always so nice, and we see that on the internet every day. But you also may be asking somebody for feedback, but then you still want to use the same portfolio to send into a competition for employment or what have you. So they are adjusting those settings right now so that we were able to do that. But yes, you can leave comments throughout.
Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am, I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm new at San Antonio College. Do I have to wait until the next semester to do the Lumen account?
No, you should be able to get into it already.
Okay.
If you just go to the resource to click on the video and walk through those steps, and you shouldn't have a problem getting in. Are you
Okay,
taking a full term? Are you taking a 16-week or a flex course?
No, full time.
Okay, so 16-week courses. Okay. Yes, you should be able to get in.
All right, thank you.
Sure. And that's the best thing. Just get in and play around with it, because you can always delete them.
Thank you again.
And if you're a newer student, you're going to take the student development course, the SDEV. That's also, they incorporate learning how to use the portfolio in that course as well, to introduce and to get y'all on your way as well. So if you're
Okay, cool.
about to take that course,
I'm in that class. I haven't gotten that far yet.
it's coming. It's coming.
Thank you.
And Julie and Jolinda, you both mentioned that when students graduate, they still have access. Does it matter how long? Is it a couple of years? It's forever?
Right now, they have not set any limits on us. We've asked that several times. For right now, the Ellumin company is happy with our working relationship, and so they've not set any term limits. It could happen that one day that does change, but they've also said if it does change, it may be a very nominal fee if there is a fee included with maintaining these portfolios. But they understand the uses for the students, and we have an ongoing working relationship with the Ellumin company. And so they do like seeing that students are utilizing that far beyond their time here at SAC.
Perfect. Thank you both for being here and for presenting on the portfolios. And like you mentioned, the students are going to be able to dig a little deeper in their EDUC and STEP courses.
Mm-hmm. And it's so great. And, I don't want to just say for the academic side, but of course, any student wanting to build a portfolio for the extracurriculars and the co-curricular events as well, this is a great way to really keep up with that. And, you could also include reflections of what you've learned at different events. You can also pair that with your experiential learning transcript. There's just, I mean, really lots of uses for it. And I know several students who have now gone and created, and it really expanded on transfer to a university portfolio. So everything that's in their application, they're also bringing that to life with videos and pictures and other evidence that's important to the student to share. And in the box on their college application or their university application where it says any other comments, they say, please view my portfolio, and they add the link, and then it opens up to a whole nother world of information that's really brought to life.
Well,
And if you, I'm sorry, Sabrina, if you have any questions as you're working on your portfolios, don't hesitate to contact the office and we can help you with that.
Thank you so much. That was very interesting. I've never seen that. That was amazing.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
well, we hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, let us know if y'all need us.